Coming up on Falcon Weekly, breaking news. Montevallo police are searching for the man who they say robbed the Trustmart Bank Monday afternoon. We'll give you a description of the suspect.
And find out what investigators are saying about a Russian plane that mysteriously came apart in midair before crashing in Egypt.
Plus, hear why fans of The View are petitioning for panelist Raven Symone to be fired.
And Taylor Swift is being sued by another musician. Find out who has bad blood with the singing superstar. Falcon Weekly starts right now. Hello and welcome to Falcon Weekly. I'm Elizabeth Reinhart.
And I'm Courtney Stroop. Thanks so much for joining us.
We begin with breaking news out of the city of Montevallo. Authorities are investigating a robbery at the Montevallo branch of Trustmart Bank.
According to the FBI, the robbery was reported at approximately 12:15 p.m. Witnesses say that a man in his 20s or 30s walked into the bank demanding money. He said that he had a gun but never showed one.
Police followed the suspect out of the city for about 25 miles before they lost him. MPD says the suspect is a Hispanic male with long black hair. He was wearing a blue hooded sweatshirt and driving a green Kia. If you have any information, please call the Montevallo Police Department at 665-1264. In other news, the cause of the Russian airliner crashing in Egypt is still unknown.
An airline executive made comments that led some to suspect terrorism. However, the chief of the Russian Federal Air Transport Agency said it was too early to make conclusions. Stacey Cohen has the latest from Washington.
Bodies are arriving. The nation of Russia observes a day of mourning after the death of 224 people on board a Russian passenger jet that crashed in Egypt. The grief here is evident. The cause of the crash is not.
The most important thing right now is to do the investigation with international standards and find out what's the reasons for this tragedy. And we also are going to help relatives who lost families there according to Russian laws.
Flight 9268 was headed to St. Petersburg from an Egyptian resort in the Sinai Peninsula. It shattered in the air about 20 minutes after takeoff. No distress calls were received from the cockpit. An executive with the Russian airline company blames an external influence. ISIS claimed responsibility in a tweet, but U.S. officials aren't convinced.
Well, we don't have any direct evidence of any terrorist involvement yet.
Russian officials also warned of making any premature conclusions. The flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorders have been recovered and are being analyzed. Signs of terrorism should be easy to spot, even among the obliterated remnants of the jet.
You can certainly see whether there were any sign of a bomb or a missile striking the aircraft. They leave very distinctive marking.
Without answers, families of the mainly Russian victims find only pain and the support of a nation crying beside them. I'm Stacey Cohen, reporting.
The debris was spread out over several miles. Officials say the tail section was found 3 miles away from the cockpit.
All eyes were on the Oval Office today as President Obama signed a budget bill passed by Congress last week. The president signed a 2-year budget bill that heads off any potential government shutdowns over the debt ceiling. Obama said the bill invests in the economy and national security.
Is a budget that reflects our values, that grows our economy, creates jobs, keeps America safe. It's going to strengthen the middle class by investing in critical areas like education and job training, basic research. It keeps us safe by investing in our national security and making sure that our troops get what they need in order to keep us safe and perform all the outstanding duties that they do around the world.
The bill suspends the national debt limit until March 15, 2017.
Turning to the race for the White House, fallout from last week's CNBC Republican debate is still coming.
The conservative outrage driving a wedge in between the candidates, the Republican National Committee, and the campaigns who are trying to get greater control of future debates. Reed Binion reports.
I was very disappointed in the moderators. I think it was one gotcha question, one personal low blow after the other.
Those words from RNC Chairman Reince Priebus after last week's CNBC Republican presidential debate, setting the stage for days of withering criticism of the network. The RNC pulling out of NBC's Republican debate scheduled for February, and the campaigns coming together in Virginia Sunday to draft a list of demands for future debates. Convened by Ben Carson's campaign manager Barry Bennett, the 14 campaigns sought greater control in setting the terms for the debate.
We are burdened by the fact that we've got so many good candidates. I think they all should have a chance to speak. We're going to figure out if we can come to some consensus about how they do that.
In a sign of dissatisfaction with the Republican National Committee, the campaign specifically did not include the RNC in Sunday's meeting, instead inviting Republican lawyer and debate negotiator Ben Ginsberg as an impartial facilitator.
The information flow has not been nearly what it's been in past years.
After the meeting, these demands emerged. A 2-hour time limit, 30 seconds for opening and closing statements, and equal speaking time for each candidate. And if those demands aren't met, something of a veiled threat to cut broadcast media out of the debate process.
I think we can look beyond television partnerships. Facebook and Twitter and Google and YouTube, they would all host a debate.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
The next Republican debate will be held on November 10th at 8 p.m. The debate will take place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it will be hosted by the Wall Street Journal on the Fox Business Channel.
Now it's time for a look at what's happening around campus.
Falcon Weekly's Candace Crutchfield joins us with a look at UM headlines. Hi, Candace.
Thanks, guys. First up, students, faculty, and staff ran or walked for research. Last Thursday, rain held off for UM's 10th run for research. This benefits UM's undergraduate program. In addition to medals traditionally given to the winners, everyone who crossed the line received a participation medal in honor of the race's 10th anniversary. The winners of the 1-mile portion were John Tidwell and Kiera Morris. The overall 5K winner for the women's division is Dr. Carly Morris, and the winner of the men's is AJ Jackson. UM's Human Resources, Biology, Chemistry, and Mathematics departments tied for the most overall participation, and ATO had the most Greek life participation. The chances of rain were high Saturday, but the art stalk still reeled in a lot of people. Montevallo students and residents got to begin their Halloween looking at beautiful original artwork. Many artists from UM and around town displayed their unique pieces for people to purchase. The art stalk took place on Main Street and included live entertainment, a costume contest, and a stand for children to make their own jack-o'-lanterns. Art Stalk is sponsored by the Montevallo Arts Council and the university. It might sound corny, but 5U is hosting their annual Cornhole Classic. This will be held in Myrick Gym from 6 to 9 p.m. on November 3rd. Entry tickets are $3 and will be sold in the CAF. It is too late to enter the Cornhole Classic to compete, but there will be music and food for the crowd. The event raises money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Friends come in all shapes and sizes. Do not miss an opportunity to make your own stuffed animal. Stuff a Friend will be this Wednesday, November 4th in Anna Irvin from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. The event is sponsored by the University Program Council. That's a look at campus headlines. Back to you.
Thanks, Candace. Remember, there's more news online 24/7. Just search for UM Falcon Weekly on Facebook and Twitter to see more stories and news updates throughout the week. For more news, check out our Falcon Weekly Flashcast on Facebook page. In today's Flashcast, see what happened when trick-or-treaters knocked on Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders' door.
Also on our Facebook page, a story of puppy love. See how this couple's dog stole the spotlight during their recent engagement photos. Still ahead on Falcon Weekly, see how a new K-pop dance craze is boosting tourism in South Korea.
And find out how a tattoo of a strawberry and the little artist who designed it have stirred controversy on social media. And runny nose and fever got you down? We'll show you how to treat your cold symptoms in today's Health Minute. Those stories and more when Falcon Weekly returns.
You want to feel connected, informed, included on every screen in your life. We are broadcasters, always here for you. wherever here may be. Text Washington. Tell them local stations matter.
Welcome back to Falcon Weekly. If you just mastered Gangnam Style, get ready to learn some new dance moves.
A new dance craze has people flocking to South Korea, but as Kathy Novak found out, learning the grooves and the moves to K-pop isn't easy.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
If I say K-pop and you're still thinking this,
Gangnam Style.
you should know Gangnam Style was so 3 years ago. Now, it's all about EXO. And if you want to master these moves, come to the place where the stars rehearse and learn from a real K-pop instructor. This is serious business, and some people have clearly been practicing. Me? Not so much. I'm not the only foreigner trying to follow along. Katja Krichko came all the way from Latvia.
I've been into K-pop like 6 years. Yeah. So finally here, finally my dream came true.
1, 2, 8. And Marcus Page is representing the U.S. state of Virginia.
It's really surprising how many people like in my state know who this group is.
And that is music to the ears of Seoul City Government, which has partnered with the entertainment company SM to offer free classes to foreigners in the hopes it will lure more tourists. K-pop is a huge cultural export. Along with TV dramas and Korean food like kimchi, they're known as the Korean wave. And the city has found 30% of foreign tourists are visiting because they want to ride that wave. Korean wave tourists tend to stay longer than other visitors, says Kim Jae-young, and they return to South Korea more often than other tourists. Plenty of time, then, to get this right.
I cannot do it. I really can't. It's too hard.
Perhaps it's best left to the experts. Kathy Novak, CNN, Seoul.
If you are interested in learning more about the Korean culture, the University of Montevallo Korean Culture Club meets every Monday at 7 p.m. in Reynolds Hall, room 226, or just search University of Montevallo Korean Culture Club on Facebook.
Let's switch gears for health news.
Falcon Weekly's Laura Poitras joins us with the latest health headlines. Laura?
Thank you, ladies. A Nebraska meat supplier is recalling more than 167,000 pounds of ground beef due to possible E. coli contamination. The USDA says the problem was discovered by All American Meats on October 30th, and no illnesses have been reported in relation to it. For information on exactly which meats have been recalled, go online and follow the link on our Facebook page. And following the trend, over 40 Chipotle locations in Washington and Oregon are closed due to an E. coli outbreak. 22 cases of E. coli have been traced to 6 Chipotle locations in the Seattle and Portland areas. No deaths have been reported, but 8 people do remain in the hospital. Germs are a major cause of healthcare-associated infections in hospitals and daycare centers, and a major paint company may have a solution. Sherwin-Williams claims that their paint shield kills over 99.9% of bacteria after just 2 hours of being on a painted surface. The product can be used on hard, non-porous ceilings, walls, doors, and trim, and is reportedly effective for up to 4 years. Paint Shield will come in 590 colors and be available in the U.S. in 2016. The CDC says such a product would be great, but to be deemed effective, it must meet a lot of criteria and undergo testing in both a lab and healthcare settings. Are you ready for this winter's cold season? Many of us may get hit with a nagging cough or a runny nose or a fever during this winter season. In today's Health Minute, one pharmacist talks about what you should keep on hand to keep that winter cold at bay. Holly Furfer has more in today's Health Minute.
There's really no cure per se for the common cold. Really what you would do is manage the symptoms that come with the common cold. So depending on what symptoms you have, that will determine what medications you take.
First, there's pain. Acetaminophen isn't the only pain reliever out there.
So there are 2 major products that you usually will take. The first one is either ibuprofen or Motrin, which is a brand name. Other people like to take naproxen.
And when it comes to antihistamines,
the main product that is in the cold medication is diphenhydramine. So one of the major side effects of these products is drowsiness. So you always want to make sure that you're not drowsy before you start driving after taking this medication.
if you also have a cough, look for products with one of these two active ingredients.
And what guaifenesin does is when you have that deep congested cough, it helps bring out all the gunk associated with that. When you have that dry cough that you're trying to suppress, then you take dextromethorphan.
And last but not least, don't forget the tissue. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
That's a look at this week's health headlines. I'm Laura Poithers. Back to you.
Still ahead, Trekkies rejoice. A new Star Trek series is coming in 2017, but the franchise is boldly going where it's never gone before. Find out where you'll be able to watch the new series.
And are you already dreaming of a white Christmas? See where people are already getting their snow. Plus, we'll have a look at our local weather for the week. We'll be right back.
Between class, work, and everything else on your plate, there isn't a whole lot of time to watch the news.
And that's why here at Falcon Weekly, we focus on the stories that you need to hear.
So once a week, tune in for the news that impacts your life and matters to you. From campus events to entertainment and health updates to the latest national and world news, Falcon Weekly is your one-stop shop for information.
And you can always find information from us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Falcon Weekly. Find your news here.
Welcome back to Falcon Weekly. Now it's time for The Buzz.
Falcon Weekly weather reporter Austin Gates and Buzz anchor Hannah Risch join us with a look at the stories that got us talking. What have you got for us this week, Hannah?
Thanks, guys. Our first buzzworthy topic is Raven Symone and her controversial remarks on The View. Symone has recently garnered some controversy for defending Ben Fields on his actions at Spring Valley High School and for her remarks on hiring people with ethnic-sounding names. The petition on change.org argues that Raven has been spouting her ignorant and self-hating spiel on The View for long enough. As of today, more than 130,000 people have signed. So, what do you guys think about this?
I mean, I used to love That's So Raven, so it kind of makes me sad that there's so much controversy surrounding her right now.
She just goes too far. Like, it's an opinionated show, but there's just a point that you can't cross, and she crosses it a lot.
It's okay to have strong opinions, but to me, it's kind of like she's going overboard on purpose to try to offend people. Like, it's almost like she's trying too hard.
Like, for going for shock value, maybe.
Yeah.
This sort of stuff is exactly why I don't do talk shows. A Florida father is under fire after sharing a Facebook picture of his daughter giving him a tattoo. Let's take a look.
Brad Bellomo is making his mark on the human landscape with a body of work that covers as much of his skin as it does anyone else's. So it came as no surprise to this tattoo artist when his 4-year-old daughter, Chloe... What are you going to be when you grow up?
5.
You're going to be 5? That's a good answer. Aside from being clever and cute, he says she took to drawing at an early age.
But then seeing the art in here with the ceiling, she had come in a few times, watched other artists and myself, doing the art on the ceiling there. And she's like, I want to do one. So right away, gave her the chance, this one up here.
Spotting her innate talent, this doting father took a chance and a needle and let his little girl leave her mark on him.
Yeah, the tattoo's right in here. I mean, I only have so much space left. Yeah. But it was a good spot where I could see and watch and guide her.
Why did you pick a strawberry?
Because it was cute.
And when he posted the results on social media, it went viral before the ink could dry. Tens of thousands of comments, some good, some bad.
A lot of it is just someone saying that's bad parenting, kind of, or questioning parenting, but everybody's kid is different.
This is more than just an art form. For Brad, it's a business that he's run for the last 3 years, and like with any family business, he'd love to pass it down to his child.
I'm not trying to push her into the career. but it's an opportunity where she could, you know, do a few tats, get good at it, maybe an after-school job versus McDonald's.
But according to Chloe, she may have already pinned her career.
I like to paint my daddy.
So be honest, would you guys want a tattoo from Chloe?
I don't know if I'd let her give me a tattoo, but that's his daughter, so I guess that's a little different.
I wouldn't want a tattoo from her, but it's kind of cute that he
cute.
let her do that. It's sweet.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that he let her do it. I mean, I don't get the people questioning his
I don't
parents.
either.
I mean, he's a professional tattoo artist. He told her how to do it. He was right there. I mean, and he wanted something from his daughter. I mean,
I totally agree. I think that's
a cool.
It's really
aspect
cute
of
that
it.
she was
I
super
wouldn't want her to
bad.
tattoo me.
No.
But
It wasn't the best tattoo, but it was cute.
An unsuspected lawsuit has caused some bad blood between Taylor Swift and Jesse Brom. Musician Jesse Brom is suing Taylor Swift for allegedly stealing some of his lyrics for her hit single, Shake It Off. Bram claims his 2013 song, Haters Gonna Hate, contains the same 22-word phrase that Swift used in Shake It Off. Bram's lawsuit also includes a YouTube link to Haters Gonna Hate, which sounds nothing like Shake It Off. Bram is seeking $42 million in damages from Swift and her record label, and the writing credit on Shake It Off. So what do you think of this lawsuit?
I'm not sure. I honestly haven't seen his video. I've never heard of him, actually.
Oh, yeah, me
so,
neither.
Me neither.
I mean, if that's true, then that's pretty terrible because she's supposed to write her own songs and everything.
Yeah,
but
you think about Taylor Swift, all you think about is the
Yeah.
songwriter
Mhm.
and her.
And she has
for
such
her
like a
to-
wholesome image, and you know.
For her to be accused of stealing lyrics is just kind of odd because you've never heard anything like that about her before.
And I don't know how believable that is because that's such a catchy phrase. I feel like as if that were such a well-known song, people would have known right then and there when it came out over a year ago that
you
it was
have heard
copyright.
something about it.
Yeah,
I would think.
So I don't know. I think it's sketchy. Sounds like someone just wants some money.
$42 million.
And beam me up, Scotty. CBS announced a new Star Trek series scheduled for release in January 2017. The series will have a special preview broadcast on the CBS television network, but the premiere and first-run episodes will be broadcast on the network's new subscription-based streaming service, CBS All Access. The series will not be related to the upcoming film Star Trek Beyond, and there's no word on if the new crew will be on board the USS Enterprise. But CBS announced that the crew will visit imaginative new worlds and new civilizations. So, will you guys be boldly going to watch this?
I've never seen Star Trek.
I haven't either.
I know that's terrible. Everyone's going to hate me. But sure.
I think it'll be big.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people that love it, that
Right.
are very excited. Yeah.
In scope, especially with Star Wars coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Now, like,
Although they're very different things.
Yeah, they're
Don't
very
forget.
different. No, I know they're very different. But with that coming out, this kind of just puts Star Trek's like, oh, we're coming out with something else too. So we have this new thing.
Get that competition going.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm all for it. Like,
We've got our little.
live long and prosper. Yeah, we got a little Spock right here.
I don't know what this is.
That's Data.
Okay. Thanks, Hannah. Now it's time for a check of our Montevallo forecast.
Austin, what's the weather looking like across the country?
The state of Texas was slammed with severe weather and flooding over the weekend, and the death toll from the storms has risen to 6. One of the victims was 67-year-old Inez Garza. She and her husband were swept away from their Travis County home. He was rescued, but her body was discovered about 2 miles away from their property. Sheriff's deputies gave the family the bad news.
We were hoping and praying and holding out hope that the call would be a different call, but it was what it was.
We know she's up there and, in a better place, and she's smiling down on us, and she's our little angel now. And so I'm very happy that she's finally found a happy place.
There was also heavy damage in Friendswood, Texas after this weekend's storms. The trail of debris looked to be left by a tornado. Many people in the community were surprised to wake up to such heavy damage. And And in Washington State, it's beginning to look a lot like winter this fall. This marks the first snowfall of the year in Washington. The snow is welcome news to help lessen the effects of additional rainfall runoff in the mountains, where several inches of rain fell Saturday, sending several rivers over their banks for minor to moderate flooding. In local weather, we step over here, and for your Montevallo forecast, Tuesday through Friday, we're going to have some high 70s to mid 70s, and the lows are going to be in the 60s and to 63, 66. You see on Thursday. Friday night, we're going to have a cold front come through. So Saturday, this weekend is going to be a lot cooler than it has been. 66, 64 are the highs on Saturday and Sunday. 48, 46 are the lows. So we'll have temperatures down in 40s. Today's forecast. Today's forecast. We have a lot of rain in the area, a lot of drizzle, a lot of cloudy weather. You have some 70 up in Hamilton, 72, a lot warmer temperatures. Eufaula 79, Troy, a lot of high 70s down here, with some cooler temperatures in Gadsden and Anniston. And for tonight, and we have this front moving in, the chance of rainfall. The green area is the the yellow area is the heavier chance of rainfall. The green area will be a little less. It's going to be 63 up where the rainfall is. Hamilton 60 degrees over here. 66 down in Eufaula is the warmest we're going to have. And that's your outlook for tonight. And back to you guys.
Thanks, Austin. Falcon Fever is up next. See which two women's sports teams have earned their highest rankings in school history.
Plus, highlights from Ole Miss and Auburn, as well as a reaction from the Royals locker room after their series-clinching win in Game 5 of the World Series. Falcon Fever is next.
Hey. Hey, could we please watch something else?
Well, what do you want to watch?
The Montevallo For You YouTube channel. Look at all those videos. You can watch it any time of the day from anywhere.
Cat videos are still better.
Preposterous!
Welcome to Falcon Fever. I'm Matthew Haskins with a look at this week's sports. The Lady Falcons cross-country team has moved up 2 spots in the Division II poll this week and will head into regionals ranked 17th in the nation. The Falcons are coming off an impressive performance at the Peach Belt Conference Championship where they claimed their 2nd consecutive conference title. Montevallo will look to repeat again at the NCAA Division II Southeast Region Championship this Saturday on the campus of Wingate University in Wingate, North Carolina. The volleyball team lost 2 hard-fought matches this Halloween weekend as they traveled to South Carolina with road matches against Lander University on Friday and South Carolina Aiken on Saturday. The Falcons were edged in both matches, ending in a 3-2 score. In the match against Lander on Friday, the Falcons featured 5 players with double-digit digs, marking just the 2nd time this season with more than 4 players registering double-digit digs in a match. The Falcons will return to action this Friday against Flagler University and look to remain undefeated at home. First service set for 6 p.m. The men and women's soccer team ended their regular season against Young Harris on Saturday. The Falcon men were led by sophomore Josh Keller, who found the back of the net in the 54th minute, giving the Falcons a 1-0 lead. However, the Young Harris attack seemed too much as they pulled away late to secure the win and their first place spot in the conference settings, heading into the conference tournament on Tuesday. The women jumped ahead early in their contest when Brooke Griffin found Taylor Gonzalez in the 2nd minute to give the Falcons a 1-0 lead. The Mountain Lions then equalized in the 30th minute and took the lead in the 36th minute to secure the lead and the win. The women's golf team is currently ranked 12th by Golf Stats, which is their highest team ranking in program history. The ranking came following the team's exceptional finish at the Flagler Fall Slam to cap off the first half of the 2015-2016 season. Falcons will compete in 4 more tournaments starting in February 2016. The 2015-2016 season will conclude with the Peach Belt Conference Championship on April 15th through the 17th. Moving on to college football, Ole Miss defeated Auburn 27-19 Saturday for their first win on the Plains since 2003. With the win, Ole Miss continues to control their destiny in the SEC West and set aside any questions about road struggles for now. Saturday was another heartbreaker for Auburn as their record sits at 4-4 and 1-4 in conference play. The Tigers will look to right the ship Saturday when they travel to College Station to take on Texas A&M at 6:30 p.m. And the Kansas City Royals are World Series champs for the first time in 30 years. The Royals staged a Game 5 comeback to beat the New York Mets 7-2 in 12 innings. They took the series 4-1. This is Kansas City's first World Series title since 1985 and the second in franchise history.
Thanks, Matt. Finally this week, he may love sweets, but overloading on sugar doesn't seem to be slowing him down.
Today, the Cookie Monster is celebrating his birthday. The Sesame Street star is estimated to be 40-something today. The only thing known for sure is that chocolate chip cookies are his favorite, followed closely by oatmeal. The blue, googly-eyed monster is famous for being indulgent, but is now trying to promote healthier eating by saving cookies as a sometimes food. Cookie Monster has been a regular Sesame Street character since the late 1960s.
Oh.
Did you guys know it was his birthday?
I didn't.
No.
I didn't know. I love the Cookie Monster.
I love cookies.
I love cookies.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I miss Sesame Street. I used to watch it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Me
All
too.
the time. All the time.
Well, that's all we have for this week's show. Thank you so much for joining us.
For more UM news from MassComm's student reporters, be sure to check out the Falcon News Network blog. The web address is on your screen. We'll see you again next week.